Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. So guys, as I'm making this video, I just witnessed the Dallas Mavericks get beaten by the Golden State Warriors in Game 2. They were up by a ton of points, the Warriors came back, and as the game was winding down the way it was, it kind of inspired me to make this video, and it's something that I've believed for a long time, but I thought that because of what happened today, it further confirmed it, and it gave me the inspiration for this video. So this video is titled, Why the Dallas Mavericks Cannot Win a Title, in my opinion, of course, and it has to do with the way they play and how eerily similar it is to a recent failed experiment of a team, and that is the Mike D'Antoni Houston Rockets and these current Dallas Mavericks having the same thing in common, okay? It's a formula that doesn't work, okay? And it's the reason why Mike D'Antoni is unemployed right now, why no one wants him, because he had a large enough sample size with this style of basketball that NBA teams are realizing does not work and is not conducive to winning an NBA championship, and that is with the use of iso ball and small ball in combination with each other. The use of having 5 players on the perimeter, 1 or 2 guys who take turns playing in isolation, playing one-on-one, and maybe driving the ball, but kicking it out if they're doubled and just shooting a bunch of threes. No big man in the middle, no rebounding, okay? It's a formula that does not, maybe it works in the regular season, maybe the talent of your team gets you to the playoffs, maybe you win 1 series, maybe even 2, but you're not winning a championship with this formula. We saw it with the Rockets with Mike D'Antoni, but specifically the last year that Mike D'Antoni was the Rockets head coach, and that was in the bubble in 2020. We saw Russell Westbrook and James Harden. They won their first series against the Thunder, but what happened when they got to the conference semis against a more polished team like the Lakers that played big basketball, played inside? They got severely out-rebounded, and ultimately, when you play that form of basketball, you're relying on your threes falling. And when your threes don't fall, when the hot streak ends, it's inevitably going to happen at some point. You can't win 16 games in the playoffs, win a championship that way, because it's so unlikely that you're going to be hot for that entire period of time. It's the same reason why in baseball you can't hit 400. You can't bat 400 anymore, because baseball, in a long, big sample size of 162 games, you're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to get hot. But the reason why they call it getting hot is because it's not maintainable. It's a period of time that in a very small sample size can give you great success. It's the reason why the Mavs beat the Suns, because they made all their threes. They shot, in the 4 games they won, they made at least 17, 18 threes, shot almost 50%. So of course when you're that hot, you're gonna win games. That's the reason why the Mavs won the series against the Suns. The Suns, I think, choked in their own right, but the Suns had a much better formula for winning a championship because they had a traditional big man like DeAndre Ayton. They played traditional mid-range inside basketball, and they didn't play isolation basketball. They moved the ball moved, it never stuck, it was very fluid, and pretty much every championship team, no matter what era, no matter if we're in this cupcake era, this softer era, or in previous eras, the thing that will never be outdated with basketball is rebounding and unselfishness will always be 2 major keys for winning a championship. And you see it every year. So the Golden State Warriors, okay, when they won those 3 titles in a span of 4 years, sure, they shot a lot of threes, okay, but what they did that the Mavericks of this year and the Rockets under D'Antoni and these small ball isolation teams don't do is they are much more unselfish. The Warriors pretty much led the league in assists all those years throughout their prime, right, those 3 or 4 years, right, and then they also rebounded a ton. They weren't completely small ball. They had Draymond Green in the middle. Earlier, they had Andrew Bogut. Now they have Kevon Looney. Okay, they're not a traditional 5 guys on the perimeter, iso ball, Mike D'Antoni style offense. Okay, so that's one thing we have to acknowledge, and it has nothing to do with the coaching. I think Jason Kidd, first of all, for the Mavs, is a great coach, and I think he's done a great job maximizing the players that he has. And I think that trade that they made mid-season to bring in Spencer Dinwiddie was a great one, because it gave Luka Doncic a 3rd player, other than Jalen Brunson, a 3rd player to kind of take over when he was on the bench or give him a little bit of a break. So I think it was a great trade the Mavs have made, and they're a very good defensive team as well. So I don't want to discredit what they did, and Porzingis is a big guy, kind of, but he's really a perimeter player. So when the Mavs went all in on this small ball thing, just like the Rockets did in 2020 mid-season when they traded Clint Capella, when they went all in on 5 guys on the perimeter, small ball isolation, when they did that, these two teams definitely maximized that to the best of their ability. So Jason Kidd, credit to him. I think he's a great coach, but it's not going to work in a full sample. I think Luka Doncic is one of the, maybe right now the second best player in the NBA. I think after Giannis, he has a case to be the best player. I think the Mavericks have done an excellent job, but they're getting outmatched by the Warriors, and they were outmatched by the Suns for the first couple games until the Suns, I don't know, they choked and the Mavs got really hot. But in the big picture, you're not going to beat these big-time rebounding. You can't beat these traditional teams that are much more formulated to win a championship, like the Lakers were in 2020, like the Warriors are this year. Your run's going to come to an end because playing small ball, isolation, the rebounds, the rebound battle, the fact that you're going to get out-rebounded most games is going to come back to bite you, and your hot streak, the fact that you're making 50% of your threes, you're just lighting it up, you're gonna have bad games, and when you have those bad games, you're basically screwed. So look, the Mavs, anything's possible. Maybe they win this series. Maybe they come back again from 2-0. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe they get hot and it lasts the entire span of the postseason and they win the whole thing. But look, teams like the Mavs, in the big picture, I don't believe can win the championship, and it's the exact reason why Mike D'Antoni is not a head coach in the NBA, because I think the NBA is realizing that small ball isolation, 5 guys on the perimeter, let 1 or 2 guys operate on individual possessions, or just kick it out for threes, have no one to rebound the ball, no interior defense, that's going to come back to bite you, because no rebounds, no rings lasts from generation to generation, and unselfishness is just like rebounding. It never goes out of style, never goes out of date, no matter what era. So that's just my opinion, guys. Comment your opinions as well, but I just don't think the Dallas Mavericks have what it takes with the way they play to win a championship, nor does any team that plays like them. So hopefully, if the Mavs get eliminated, this is a lesson for teams in the future to not go all in on this type of strategy, because it's not going to work, okay? Teams are going to scheme against you. They're going to figure you out. Your hot streak will eventually come to an end. But guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Just shared my thoughts, what I believed, just in my opinion, to be true about this style of basketball. So make sure to comment your opinions, like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're an NBA fan or NFL or MLB fan, and I'll see you guys in the next video.